Ma- I still remember and laugh. I was once invited for an interview by a CEO for an organization somewhere. And the way I was made to understand, it was a chat. And being a chat, I just thought to myself, it's a chat. I walked in for this interview, ushered into the boardroom, and the lady asks me, "Can I look at your documents?" Should have seen me. I'm like, "Okay, I thought this was a chat." And she told me, "Monique, you are a HR person. I'd expect you to know, even if it's a chat. You're expected to come with your documents." Oh my goodness. At that moment, I wish the world would just have, the earth would have opened and swallowed me. I apologize profusely. But from that day henceforth, not just for myself, even for my clients, I tell them, whenever you're going for an interview, be prepared. Whether it's a chat, whether it's formal, whether it's informal, don't take anything to chance. Always carry your certificates with you and don't assume. Because the other mistake I made, I don't assume because you know the person. Yeah? It's not an interview. Because the person who invited me is a friend. The person who was going to interview me is also a friend. But that's a major assumption I made. Don't make that assumption. I think it cost me a job when I look back. Yes.
Yeah. So my worst interview experience was the interview started an hour and a half late. So we were waiting, and we were all of us in one room waiting for the interviews to begin. I think the people doing the interviews came in about an hour past time, and yeah, so then we were called in for the individual interviews. It was quite a group of people. I think there were 4 people doing the interviews, and I mean, one of them really looked like he didn't want to be there. So it was very disconcerting, and sort of trying to maintain that upbeat, you need to be upbeat and energetic, and so then I think for me also, it became very threatening because I realized that there was someone there in the interview with us who had actually worked there before. So my self-confidence really took a hit because I was wondering, okay, so are we here to as a formality? Like, there's no real chance that you're getting this job. It's just as a way of doing the process because you already know who you want. Yeah, so it was a very nerve-wracking experience. There was a written component. It was a very intense interview. When we left, they were to give us feedback in a week. And that did not, I think I followed up 2 or 3 times after the week passed before we got feedback. And yeah, it was just such an unpleasant experience. And one that really made me very aware of the dynamics of the fact that when you're in the position of power as an interviewer, what kind of environment do you create? And made me very conscious of the fact that we are, when we are interviewing, we are very much being interviewed, because there's an image you leave there with of that organization. And with interviews these days, you are as much interviewing them as they are interviewing you. So that was a huge learning experience for me. Yeah. But when you really need a job and you have that kind of pressure, it's an unpleasant experience.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
are peculiar people.